biggest motherfucker on me. All right. Okay, there we go. Now, one of the apps, I have to restart it every so often. There's some issue. It could be hacking. Let me see if my microphone has power left on it. I have to change out the mic if I don't. Let's see. Yeah, it's got plenty of power. Thanks. So again, they're projecting at this point because they launched their physical attack. Satan will give them additional ability to do things to me metaphysically. Yeah, there's cops that are part of it. They're such garbage. Yeah, the PSYOP gets kids raped. They want to tell you we're watching, the kids won't get raped. They're liars because that's what happened in the Omar Mateen case. That's what that is. They try to turn him into a sex criminal, but one of the side effects is that the person could become violent. And because if you look at the clinical psychology, and it's sex abuse. To isolate a man, or to try to turn the man gay, and use women that are like, if you would talk to Omar Mateen, he would probably tell you that strange women were coming up trying to turn him on, and then men would come up and try to turn him on, and then kids would come up and they try to. Now I can't tell you whether the kid's trying to turn him on, but if the kid knows what the kid's doing, they can project sexuality without being sexual personally. Right. Because you're teaching the kid to be a devil. I don't care how innocent you say the kid is. So you think about that, you got kids out there that want to bait a man into being interested in them. And this is what they're doing with children. I mean, it's disgusting. But in some of those cases, those kids were raped. In some of those cases, another child was raped. The same way that Omar Mateen was able to kill all those people, he was psychologically altered by their program. And when he's online, the NSA, I guess it's an NSA thing, right? And of course, the Russians do the same thing. They start, like, the typos in my post, same thing. Right. I wasn't going to redo it because that typo wasn't there when I hit post. It's like a dog urinating, I'm not going to let him sit there and play that because I have to go and alter my post because they misspelled it. They're sick. Or corrected, should I say, because they altered the post. Right. Thanks, Larry. Kansas is a piece of shit. So there's a license plate they created that's black and white, and it's a personal plate, which would attract me, right? So now it's time for me to leave. Well, maybe the state people in Kansas are okay. But they're not. That's what they did to me last time. They do things to you around the time for you to leave, but they'll tell everybody they're trying to get you to leave. And they'll do things to make you stay. Because they're making money. Right? Stock market goes up, get a new job, get a new office in the church. Oh, we're just trying to see how he's affected by this. That's called human experiments. Nazis and devils engage in human experiments. They actually tell you what they're doing. But you're also ignorant and devilish, you accept it. They're engaged in human experiments. They've been telling you that the whole time. Well, at least we've been honest, brother. Yeah, I got some nasty words. And what they'll say is I'm anti-woman. I'm not anti-woman. That's what they choose, because I'm so pro-woman and so helpful to women and so loving to women, they keep doing this. Oh, no, he's anti-women. We're pro-women because we have sex with them every time we come into town and fake our investigations. 100%. But again, their goal is to make the woman mad at me to include us to having sex with the agents who just used them, or local police, or whoever got that piece of, as they call, derriere. Oh, it's what the LDS Church is part of. So the question is now, the only part that I know that Elizabeth Smart was abducted so that the deep state could manipulate the LDS Church. I know for a fact that they used that investigation to manipulate the LDS Church. Like, if you want that monkey off your back, then you'll do what they say. But the only question is, did they actually know where Elizabeth Smart was the whole time, or who had her? Did they focus him on Elizabeth Smart physically with PSYOP? It's entirely possible. These people are disgusting filth. Not worth anything. Worse than not worth the paper it's written on. So again, this is why God's destroying the earth. It's much eviler than it was, because these are the people, everybody, oh, angels of light. And they're setting the whole thing in motion. They're setting the fall in motion. We agree. Agreed, Larry. No, at this point, they're Babylon. I don't know. I mean, years ago, they weren't Babylon. I couldn't see it. Imagine the other people can see it. Maybe they're fully fallen now. Right. It's like the Gilgo Beach case. They were using that for extortion. They were using the Elizabeth Smart case for extortion, regardless of whether they knew where she was or not. We're just wrong him. He should not have the names of God on him. Only we should, because we're the Aaronic and the Melchizedek. To me, you're playing church, all of you, and you're playing priesthood. You're playing church and you're playing priesthood. But you ruined it, all of you. Could have been somebody. But you chose Satan. Again, this is the moment that your church chose the mark of the beast. But we're not sinners, brother. We're working on ourselves, but we're not sinners. Thanks, Larry. One day we might be holy as God and be like God. In fact, I think our quorum is close to God. Like they're like God, aren't they? See, that's where it's going to go, right? And where it goes in their mind, most likely. Now you're never going to be God. I'll tell you that. So you're marked already. Okay. Right. Probation or something like that. Okay. You hear me? Mhm. How you doing? All right, great. That was perfect for every religion. They just kept cursing me when I got there. Right. All right. So pretty much that. I'm psychologically operating. Right. Yeah, there was, and then when I went back to the Hare Krishnas in Lathe, or not Lathe, what's it called, Alachua, like I spent the night after I bought one of my Mini Coopers, I was going to go back and say hey to him, you know, when I bought my black Mini Cooper. And so they dispatched this Alachua cop to work with the guy behind the counter at the hotel. And now the guy behind the counter could have been one of them too, but he, you know, I guess they were working him like an informant, right, to say weird shit about me, right? That's the point. The informants are part of this thing, right? That's the way. Remember, you always find the FBI with weird informants, and again, the other FBI agents can't tell you that no, they're not supposed to use them, and that's a sign that they're corrupt, right? But that's what it is. I don't know if you heard me. I was outside. I'm going to actually look to see if you heard me. I'm going to stop this here shortly to see if I was actually broadcasting through the windows and walls. Theoretically, it should work, but I don't know if it did or not. It's supposed to go hundreds of feet or something. Thank you. Yeah. Kind of ashamed because I'm going to have to figure out how to get my wristbands back on. I really wanted to make my own. I guess I'll buy I found some pleather ones, and I might order those. And I don't know how to put God's name on there, though, yet. I'm still working on that. And things you order, like from Etsy, they take a little while to get here. I really don't feel like spending that money on that again. Well, because I want to repeat what's on my arc on a wristband. Yeah, sure, I am that I am. Right? Because that's the key to God. That's actually the key. Right? Which means don't live your life telling people that again, it's in the New Testament also, that that's not God, that's God, that's not God, that's God. Again, I know I say kind of the same thing, but it's a little bit different, right? Because I always say there's a possibility, you know, God can be any religion and every religion. Again, the Chabad people kind of learned that, right? Or I don't know if they go that far, but they say it has usefulness to Hashem because it gives them the knowledge. You know, and maybe I don't know if Nearson said it or you said it because I said it. I don't know. Because I've said that for years. Right. Because if once you realize that the Spirit exists, That's why they don't tell you the truth about seeing. Because once you realize it exists, then you can be it. Once I knew seeing existed, I was like a full-born seer within a year. Right. And I was still asleep when I realized the seer exists. Again, I don't have any answers to my afterlife, but I was driving around in a government car. And again, it could have been ultrasonic voices. I don't know. Somebody in like intelligence may have been actually trying to wake me up. Right. And then somebody killed it. Because I don't know if this is like spiritual voices. So I'm passing, but it could have been. I'm passing Sears on York Road, I guess, in Timonium, in that little red Volkswagen. And I think I'm listening to Rapture by Io. And all of a sudden it goes, Sears, Sears. I mean, it's not me. Right. But I'm hearing real light, like faint. Sears, Sears, like S-E-E-R-S. S-E-E-R-S. It's like 2003, I guess. Maybe 2004 early, I don't know. Right. But they're trying to wake me up to Sears, Sears, Sears. But that's the same. It has to be spiritual, I guess. But I don't know. I won't know until I pass on. Well, because it's the same time period where I talk junk on TD Jakes. But I say, people can't heal people? Are they crazy? And Jim Spike's like, right, Larry, only Jesus. I was looking on a television set in Jim Spice's basement. I lived there for a little while. Right. These people never stop, man. They're sick. There's no reason for them to ever have done it. So I see TD Jakes, I'm like, it's phony. So I can't remember how it all went, but I was healing people within probably a week or two. Because God man said, Yeshua, I think I found the man to fix your religion. or your stuff, I guess we call this stuff. All right. Yeshua, we found the man to fix your stuff. Let's wake him up. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, we shouldn't be saying geez. We should be saying yesh. Yesh, I can't believe this. Yesh. And then we would actually say, instead of Jesus Christ, we would say, Jesus Christ, oh my God. We would say, Yeshua, Rebbe Melech HaMashiach, instead of Jesus Christ. Can't believe this is happening. Yeshua, Rebbe Melech HaMashiach. The Judaizer strikes again. You know what's with me right now? The angel of vengeance. They're with me. Right? Are they Satan? Nah. See, the earth does that. If God sends an angel to punish the earth, they'll say that, a lot of times they'll say the angel is Satan. Right? Nobody's ever articulated this on earth before. I'll say that guy that was Semel, whoever he was, and I believe he was Semel, he had some good stuff. He didn't have, it wasn't perfect, and I accept a couple things I say he's off and all that, but no, they're devils like I say they are. And if they keep moving, things will get worse and worse. Right. For them also. Thank you, Larry. So they were trying to, okay, maybe they were trying to like lull me into a false sense of security so I'd have sex with a child, but it wasn't like that's something I do. I mean, that's their issue. Again, they're trying to put that on me, like, well, why would we do that? Obviously, you're going to have sex with a child. No, I wouldn't. Right? Never have, never will. You've tried to make me do it using all sorts of things that I've reported to the world. Correct. That means plain English make. Like force me to do it, because the cops are using the term make corruptly. So that term, that detective term, is now suspect, having been created by sexualizers and things like that. Right. Correct. But see, the weird part is, my bubby, when we were kids, if we had to go to like number 2, she'd go, do you have to make? She'd call it making. So again, if you think about it, detectives may be using that term. Well, Moore says to make him or made him. That means, you know, investigating and then find out his crimes. My bubby had fixed that when she was younger by calling it shit. Do you have to shit? Right. Well, if you don't want more speaking like this, then don't treat them like you just did. Devils. I don't have to talk nice to you. Devils. Criminals, sex traffickers, narcotics distributors, human traffickers. No, brother, we're the holy side of all that crime. You will be investigated, LDS. It's the last thing I do. Right, because that's why I was confused about the baptism. It didn't make sense that I couldn't remember to cover my nose. Right. But the polarity was definitely reversed. So they're welcoming you, but they're cursing you at the same time. So it isn't every one of them, but again, they'll do what they say. Right. Well, they would definitely spiritually be angry at our immigrant move. Right. So, which shows you Satan set me up. You know, go to the LDS right in the middle of helping ICE. Right. No, I help them more than anyone else, probably, because I'm spiritual. Right. I'm going to get offline here real quick, and then I'll be back on to see if you heard me outside. Again, I've had a wife, she could do that. And of course, they know that. That's why they kill that part of my life. They're just simply devils. Well, not just simply devils. We'll get deeper into who they are and what they do. Stay peaceful.